From McCormick Gymnasium in Fargo, North Dakota, good evening, everyone. I'm Kinley Kuhneman alongside Emily Hodel as we get set for North Dakota High School volleyball action as the Shanley Deacons prepare to take on the Grand Forks Central Knights. Volleyball on Shanley TV is presented by the Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon athletics to a higher level. We have an exciting game for you tonight. Stay tuned and we will return shortly, right after this message from our Deacon partners.
This broadcast is presented by American Family Insurance, Ken Craft Agency, Bell Bank, Beyond Boundaries Therapy Services, Busick, Olson and Associates, the Fargo Jet Center, First International Bank and Trust, Forum Communications, Fusion Electric, Luther Family Buick GMC, Moore Engineering, Network Center, Off the Wall Advertising, OnSharp, Sanding Law, Sanford Health, and Shields.
We have an exciting game for you tonight as the 10-3 Deacons take on the 1-12 Grand Forks Central Knights. Emily, who are some players to watch from both teams?
For the Knights, we have number 14, Lily Hodgson, an outside hitter, and number 16, Madeline Stengel, a setter. And for the Deacons, we have number 7, Clara Robin, an outside hitter, and number 12, Paige McAllister.
Yes, I agree. Both teams will come out strong. Hannah Hodel back to serve for the Deacons. Up to Anderson. Vetter with the set. Shayna Roach with the kill. The Knights can't quite connect on that one, and the Deacons will get the point. Hannah Hodel still serving for the Deacons. Up to Anderson. Anderson over to Hodgson. Vetter with the free ball. Anderson to Norland. Vetter over to Roach. Roach's kill will go out of bounds. Now in for the Knights is number 16, Madeline Stengel. Free ball over by the Deacons. Ball up to Stengel. Over to Norland. Norland with the kill. Point Grand Forks Central. Stengel serving for the Knights. Robbins up to Vetter. Vetter over to McAllister. And McAllister will get the kill. Point Deacons. Shayna Roach back to serve for the Deacons. And that'll be Clara Robin with the kill. Point Deacons. Roach still serving for the Deacons. Up to Stengel. And that'll be a point for the Knights. Kill by Lily Hodgson. Hodgson back to serve. Number 9, Avery Peterson is in for the Knights. Hodel up to Vetter. Vetter to McAllister, and Paige McAllister will get a kill. Clara Robin back to serve. Gass up to Stengel. Stengel to Norland, and Norland's kill will go out of bounds. Point Deacons. Robin still serving. Gass with the tip. Great hustle play by the Knights, but just can't quite connect on the serve. Point Deacons. Robin still serving. Robin's serve will go out of bounds. Norland back to serve. Thomas back in for the Knights. Tip by George. Double hit for the Deacons. Point Knights. Norland still serving. Dew up to Vetter. Vetter over to McAllister. That'll be tipped by the Knights. Point Deacons. Maggie Shorma in for the Deacons. McAllister is back to serve. Gass up to Stengel. Tipped at the net. Great hustle play by both teams. The Knights will get the point. Emma Haskamp in for the Knights, along with Carly Anderson. And for the Deacons, Hannah Hodel is back in. Anderson will serve for the Knights. Hodel up to Vetter. Close to the net. That'll be tipped by the Knights. Oh, net violation on the Knights, so that'll be Deacons' point. Shayna Roach is in for the Deacons. Vetter back to serve. Gass up to Anderson. Anderson to Thomas. And Thomas will get the kill. Watson in for the Knights, and she will go back to serve. Blocked by Maggie Shorma. Point Deacons. George will go back to serve for the Deacons. Up to Anderson. Anderson over to Hodgson. Free ball by the Knights. Vetter over to Roach. And Roach will get the kill. Point Deacons. George still serving.
Point Deacons. Ricky George still serving.
Gas up to Anderson. Anderson to Hodgson. Great hustle play by the Deacons. And that'll be a point for the Knights as the Deacons can't quite connect. Number 11 in for the Knights. Gas serving. George up to Vetter. Vetter over to Robin. Kill by Clara Robin. Point Deacons. McAllister is back in for the Deacons, and Hannah Hodel is back to serve. Tip by Norland, doesn't quite make it over. Point Deacons. Hodel serving. Anderson with the pass to Hodgson. That'll be a point for the Knights. Stengel back in for the Knights, along with Talley. Stengel is back to serve for the Knights. Hodel up to Vetter. Roach with the attempt. Free ball by the Knights. Vetter to McAllister, and that'll be tipped off the Knights, and a kill for McAllister. Point Deacons. Roach back to serve. Hits off Gas and goes out of bounds. Point Deacons. Roach is still serving for the Deacons. Gas. Stengel with the tip. Vetter over to Robin. And Robbins will get the kill. Point Deacons. Roach still serving. Gas up to Stengel. Stengel to Norland, and Norland will be blocked at the net by Paige McAllister. Point Deacons. Timeout for the Knights. Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at shanleyathletic.club.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button or become a member if you are not one already. It's easy to become a member and anyone can join, so sign up today. The Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon athletics to a higher level. Emily, we got a good game here, 16-9. The Deacons are ahead. I think that timeout was just to help the Knights reset and get them back into the groove in which they started the set.
They are seeing a lot of power coming at them from these hits. They just need to get there quicker.
I agree. Roach back to serve. Miss serve by Roach, point Knights. Aubrey Dew is in for the Deacons, along with Avery Peterson. Hodgson back to serve for the Knights. Hodel up to Vetter. Vetter over to Robin. That'll be tipped off the Knights and a kill for Clara Robin. Point Deacons. Robin back to serve for the Deacons. Gass with the pass. Knights with the free ball. Hodel to Vetter. Vetter back to McAllister. And McAllister will be blocked at the net by number 9, Avery Peterson. Point for the Knights. Norland is back to serve for the Knights. Excuse me, that will actually be the Deacon point as the ball went out on the block. Clara Robbins is still serving for the Deacons. Gass up to Stengel. Stengel to Peterson. Vetter over to George. George will get the kill. Point Deacons. Robin serving. Lauren Reardon coming in for the Knights. Gass over to Stengel. Stengel to Norland. Norland with the tip. Vetter to McAllister, and McAllister will get the tip. That is great placement by Paige McAllister. Robin still serving. Gass to Stengel. Peterson with the kill. That'll be a point for the Knights. Jasmine Thomas back in for the Knights. Norland serving. Norland will miss the serve, and that'll be a point for the Deacons. Maggie Sharma in for the Deacons, and Paige McAllister back to serve. Gass up to Stengel. McAllister up to Vetter. Vetter over to George. And George will get the kill. Point Deacons. McAllister serving.
Point Deacons. Paige McAllister still serving.
Free ball by the Knights. George for the kill. And that'll be blocked out of bounds on the Knights. Deacon ball, or Deacon point, excuse me. McAllister still serving. Gass up to Stengel. Stengel to Thomas. And Thomas can't quite connect on that one. Another point for the Deacons. Paige McAllister serving set point for the Deacons. Up to Stengel. Stengel to Peterson. And that'll be a kill for Peterson. Point Knights. Emma Haskamp in for the Knights, along with Carly Anderson. Anderson will go back to serve. Hodel up to Vetter. Vetter to Shorma. And Shorma will get the kill. The Deacons take set one, 25-12. Emily, what did you see from both teams that impressed you?
The Deacons are doing a great job with ball placement on their hits. On the same side, the Knights are also doing well, but they don't quite have the power that the Deacons have. They have done a great job at blocking at the net. And
I agree. I've seen a lot of front row stuff that's been really impressing me. And I think right now the Deacons have the momentum on their side and they came out with more energy. And it also helps that it's a home game for the Deacons. You know, they have their student section here. But the Knights, they were doing really well up front. They were also defending the Deacons' hits really well. Don't forget that you can connect with Shanley TV on social media. Get the latest updates about Shanley sports teams, plus reminders about upcoming broadcasts. Like our Facebook page today at facebook.com/ShanleyTV or follow us on Twitter at ShanleyTV.
you know, it's hard to come up against a team that's in their homecoming week. They've got all the energy with them.
You're right. All right, set 2 starting. Stengel will serve for the Knights.
The Knights will serve with the being 2. Serving for the Knights, number 16, Madeline Stengel.
Stengel serve will go out of bounds. Point Deacons.
Point Deacons.
Roach back to serve for the Deacons.
Serving for the Deacons, number 14, Shanley Roach.
That ball will be tipped by number 14, Lily Hodgson. Point Deacons. Shayna Roach still serving. Gas up to Stengel. Stengel over to Peterson. Better to Robin. And Robin will get the kill. Clara Robin, only a freshman, but plays like she's a senior, so she helps the Deacons out tremendously. Roach serving. And that'll be out on the Knights. Point Deacons. Roach serving. Roach's serve will be short. That'll be a point for the Knights. Lily Hodgson serving for the Knights. Hodel up to Vetter. Vetter to McAllister. Great dig by Gass. Vetter to Robbins. And Robbins will get the kill. Robin back to serve.
Point Deacons, Clara Robin serving.
Gas to Stengel. Stengel to Norland. Norland with the roll shot. Great hustle play by the Deacons. That'll be a free ball. Gas up to Sterling. That'll be blocked at the net. Georgia's kill will go out of bounds. Point Knights. Norland back to serve. Dew up to Vetter. McAllister with the kill. McAllister will go back to serve. That'll be blocked. That will be a violation on the Deacons. Point Knights. Hannah Hodel back in for the Deacons, along with Emma Haskamp and Carly Anderson for the Knights. Anderson will go back to serve. Due to Vetter. George with the Thomas with the kill, be blocked at the net. Little miscommunication there by the Knights. Anderson with the free ball. Vetter to George, and George will get the kill. Point Deacons. Shayna Roach in for the Deacons. And Olivia Vetter will be back to serve. Vetter serve will go out of bounds. Riley Watson in for the Knights, and she will go back to serve. Portal to Vetter. Vetter to Shorma, and Shorma will be blocked at the net by number 10, Jasmine Thomas. Great play by the Knights. Watson still serving for the Knights. Robin up to Vetter. Gass to Anderson. Vetter to George on the right side. That'll be blocked at the net by the Knights. The Deacons recover. Gass up to Anderson. Maggie Shorma with the tip. Anderson to Thomas. Thomas with the push. Gass up to Anderson. Free ball by the Knights, and that won't quite make it over. Point Deacons. Ricky George back to serve for the Deacons. Gassed up to Anderson. That'll be tipped at the net by the Deacons. Vetter over to Roach. Tipped by the Knights. Free ball over. Vetter to Roach. And that'll be tipped out of bounds by the Knights. Point Deacons. George still serving.
Point Deacons, Ricky George still serving.
That'll be Deacon point as it is blocked at the net by Maggie Shorma. Ricky George back to serve. Timeout is taken by the Knights. Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at shanleyathletic.club.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button or become a member if you are not one already. It's easy to become a member and anyone can join, so sign up today. The Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon athletics to a higher level. George serving for the Deacons. That'll be tipped by the Deacons.
Brian Anderson with the assist, killed by Emma Hesking. Point Knights.
Gas back to serve.
Mackenzie Norland serving. Number 7, Caitlin Gass.
George up to Vetter. Vetter over to Roach on the right side. Great play by Anderson. That'll go out of bounds.
Ball out of bounds. The last touch by the Knights. Point Deacons. Paige McAllister back into the lineup serving. Hannah Hodel.
Hannah Hodel back to serve for the Deacons. Blocked at the net by Paige McAllister.
For the Deacons. Hodel still serving.
Hodel still serving for the Deacons. Watson up to Anderson. Watson with the push. Tight pass at the net, but Paige McAllister will connect on that one. Kill for McAllister.
Point Deacons. Hannah Hodel still serving.
Number 18, Hannah Hodel, still serving for the Deacons. Watson up to Anderson. Anderson over to Hodgson. Robbins. Better to Roach. And Roach will get the kill. Hodel still serving. Up to Anderson. Anderson to Haskamp. Better over to Robbins. Robbins will get the kill as the ball will go out of bounds on the Knights. Hannah Hodel still serving for the Deacons. A miscommunication there for the Knights, and that'll be an ace for Hannah Hodel. Emma Jackson is in for the Knights.
Checking in for the Knights, number 2, Emma Jackson. Hannah Hodel still serving.
Hodel still serving. Gass up to Anderson. Anderson to Norland. Norland will be blocked at the net, but will get the ball back. Back row attack by Jackson. Vetter to Robbins, and Robbins will get the kill. Hodel still serving for the Deacons.
Hannah Hodel still serving.
Hodel serve will go out of bounds. Side out for the Knights. Stengel back in for the Knights, along with number 13, Lauren Reardon. Madeline Stengel will serve for the Knights. Hodel up to Vetter. Vetter over to Roach. And Roach will get the kill as the ball is tipped out of bounds by Madeline Stengel. Roach back to serve for the Deacons. Up to Stengel. Free ball by the Deacons. Stengel to Norland. Norland's kill will go out of bounds. Point Deacons. Roach still serving. Roach's serve will be short. That'll be a point for the Knights. Aubrey Dew checking in for the Deacons. Number 14, Lily Hodgson serving for the Knights. do with the tight pass, but Vetter is able to get it out of the net. And that'll be a point on the Deacons, or a point for the Knights, excuse me. Hodgson still serving for the Knights. Little miscommunication there for the Deacons. That'll be a point for the Knights. Hodgson still serving. Hodel up to Vetter. Vetter to McAllister. The Knights were right there, but just couldn't quite connect. That'll be a point for the Deacons. Robin back to serve. Free ball by the Knights. Vetter to George. Up to Stengel. Norland with the roll shot. And that'll be Vetter with the tip. Robin still serving for the Deacons. Up to Stengel. Over to Peterson. Peterson can't quite connect, and that'll be a point for the Deacons. Number 7, Clara Robbins still serving for the Deacons. Gass up to Stengel. Close play at the net, and the Deacons will be able to connect. Robbins still serving. Gass up to Stengel. Stengel over to Peterson. Peterson will be blocked at the net by Olivia Vetter and Paige McAllister. Clara Robbins serving. Free ball by the Knights. McAllister up to Vetter. Vetter over to George. That'll be tipped by the Knights. That'll be a miscommunication on the Knights, and that will be Deacon point to win the set. Emily, who are some players that are really standing out to you from both teams tonight?
From the Knights, number 16, Madeline Stengel is really doing a great job spot serving. She's doing a great job serving particularly towards the front of the net. And on the Deacons, the freshman, Clara Robbins, she's really bringing the heat on those hits.
Yes, I agree. I think both teams are playing very well up at the net. For the Knights, I really think it's just their defense, as the Deacons have very strong hitters. But I think the Knights are doing a great job trying to defend that as well.
They really are putting up a fight. They're doing a great job in the beginning of the set, but once the Deacons start building up momentum, they got to really shut that down.
Yes. I think I kind of saw the Knights show some energy when Jasmine Thomas got that block.
Oh, yeah.
And they just kind of, they started to feel the energy, but the Deacons just came out with more, and so hopefully the Knights in set 3 will bring that momentum.
Make it interesting.
Yes. The Deacons will serve. Hannah Hodel back to serve. Miscommunication on the Knights, but Gass will be able to keep it in play. Hodel up to Vetter. Vetter over to McAllister, and McAllister will get the kill. Hodel still serving. Gass up to Anderson. Anderson over to Hodgson. And Hodgson will be blocked at the net. Point Deacons. Hannah Hodel still serving for the Deacons. McAllister with the kill. Excuse me, Shayna Roach. Hodel still serving. Jackson, close pass, but Anderson will be able to keep it alive. Hodel up to Vetter. Vetter over to Roach. Up to Haskamp, Norland. Vetter over to Robbins. Robbins' kill will go out of bounds, and that'll be a point for the Knights. Excuse me, the Knights touched that, so that will be Deacon point. Hodel still serving. That'll be blocked at the net by Clara Robin. Hodel serving. Hodel serve will go out of bounds, and that'll be a side out for the Knights. Madeline Stengel and Lauren Reardson in for the Knights. Stengel will go back to serve. George up to Vetter. Vetter over to Roach on the right side. Great hustle play by Madeline Stengel. The Knights will keep the ball alive. Vetter over to Robbins. Robbins' kill will go into the net, and that'll be a point for the Knights. Stengel still serving for the Knights. Robin up to Vetter. Vetter over to Roach on the right side. And Roach will get the kill. Great assist by Olivia Vetter. Roach back to serve. And that'll be an ace for Shayna Roach. Riley Watson in for the Knights. Roach still serving. Gass to Stengel. And that'll be a pushover by Gass. Olivia Vetter with the tip. Norland will be blocked at the net, but the Knights will keep the ball alive. And that'll be a miscommunication on the Knights, and that will cost them the point. Roach still serving. Roach's serve will go into the net. Aubrey Dew is in for the Deacons. And number 9, Avery Peterson is in for the Knights. Lily Hodgson serving for the Knights. Stengel over to Peterson. Vetter over to Robbins. And Robbins' attempt will not be good. Hodgson still serving for the Knights. Great hustle play by Olivia Vetter. Hannah Hodel with the back row attack. Stengel up to Norland. Norland with the tip. Norland with the kill. That'll be a dig by Ricky George. Another tip by Olivia Vetter. Stengel over to Peterson. A dig by Hannah Hodel. Great hustle play. Robbins with the kill. Stengel to Norland. And that'll be a point for the Knights as Norland gets the kill. Hodgson still serving. Vetter over to Robin. Robin blocked at the net. The Deacons will keep the ball alive. Another try by Robin. Still can't quite connect. And that'll go out of bounds on the Knights. That's a point for the Deacons. Madeline Bannock is in for the Deacons. And she will go back to serve. This is the first time we've seen Madeline Bannock tonight. What are you expecting from her, Emily?
Expect a lot more energy than the rest of them right now.
Free ball by the Knights. Bannock up to Vetter. Vetter to McAllister. And that'll be off the Knights. Point for the Deacons. Madeline Bannock still serving. That'll be an ace for Madeline Bannock as Peterson tips it out of bounds. Bannock still serving. Stengel over to Peterson. Great placement by Peterson, and she will get the kill. As the ball will be tipped out of bounds by number 18, Hannah Hodel. Jasmine Thomas back in for the Knights. Mackenzie Norland back to serve for the Knights. And that'll be an ace for Norland. Norland still serving. Bannock up to Vetter. Vetter over to George. The Knights were right there but couldn't quite connect. That'll be a point for the Deacons. Paige McAllister back to serve, and Maggie Shorma in for the Deacons, along with Caitlin Gass in for the Knights. McAllister's serve will be short. Emma Haskamp and Carly Anderson in for the Knights. Anderson will go back to serve. Hannah Hodel in for the Deacons. And that'll be an ace for Carly Anderson. Anderson still serving. Bannock up to Vetter. Vetter over to George. George with the kill. Shayna Roach checking back in, and Olivia Vetter back to serve. That'll be an ace for Vetter as her serve just hit the line. Vetter still serving. Gass up to Anderson. Anderson over to Peterson. Peterson will be blocked at the net, but will keep the ball alive. And that'll be Peterson for the kill. Watson in for the Knights, and she will go back to serve. Bannock up to Vetter. Vetter over to Shorma. Shorma can't quite connect as the ball is a little behind her. That'll be a point for the Knights. Watson still serving. And that'll be a kill for Jasmine Thomas as George's pass is close to the net. Number 3, Watson, still serving. George up to Vetter. Vetter to Roach. Watson with the... And that'll be a tip by Ricky George to get the Deacons the point. Clara Robin in for the Deacons, and Ricky George back to serve. Georgia serve will go out of bounds. Emily, we've seen this third set be really close compared to the first two. What do you think the Knights changed in between sets?
They must have gotten a pep talk from their coach. They really brought in a new energy.
You're right. And I think the Deacons kind of lost their energy, and the
Slowed
Knights
down a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, and the Knights have kind of brought in some more. Hannah Hodel serving for the Deacons. Watson up to Anderson. Free ball by the Knights. Vetter to Roach. And Roach's kill will go out of bounds. Number 16, Madeline Stengel, and number 13, Lauren Reardon in for the Knights. Stengel back to serve. Hodel up to Vetter. Vetter to McAllister. And Paige McAllister will get her kill. Shayna Roach back to serve. Roach's serve will go out of bounds. Aubrey Dew in for the Deacons, along with Avery Peterson for the Knights. Lily Hodgson serving for the Knights. Hodel up to Vetter. Vetter to McAllister. McAllister will be blocked at the net. Hannah Hodel keeping the ball alive. Claire Robbins with the kill. I think that kill will be huge for the Deacons' momentum, as the score is 18-15, set 3. The Deacons have won the first two. What do you think the Deacons need to keep doing in order to keep their momentum up?
They really just need to keep the energy up. They're underestimating the Knights right now, and they can't do that.
Yes. Dew up to Vetter. Vetter to George. Peterson up to Stengel. Stengel to Norlin. And Paige McAllister can't quite connect, and that'll be a kill for Mackenzie Norlin. Norlin will go back to serve, and Jasmine Thomas is back in. Back row attack by Norlin. Hannah Hodel will get that one up. George will get the kill for the Deacons. Norlin was right there, but just couldn't quite connect. Number 7, Caitlin Gass in for the Knights, along with Maggie Sharma for the Deacons. Paige McAllister serving for the Deacons. Close pass by the Knights, and that'll be a... And that'll be a violation on Maggie Sharma. Carly Anderson serving. Dew up to Vetter. Great dig by Caitlin Gass. George with the kill again. Can't quite connect. Be blocked at the net. The Knights will keep the ball alive. George again. And that'll be blocked by Jasmine Thomas. Carly Anderson still serving. Bannock up to Vetter. Vetter to Sharma. Peterson with the kill. And she will get the point for the Knights. Miscommunication by the Deacons. Anderson still serving. Gass up to Anderson. Anderson to Peterson. And that'll be a kill for Peterson. Anderson still serving. Dew up to Vetter. Vetter over to George. And George will get the kill. Shayna Roach in for the Deacons. Olivia Vetter back to serve. Emily, we have a tie game at 20-20 with the Deacons serving. What do the Knights need to do to potentially win this set and keep the match going?
They just need to keep the momentum on their side. The Deacons right now, they're getting in their head. They're making small mistakes, misjudgment calls. If the Knights can capitalize on that, they really have a shot in this set.
Yes, I really think the Knights have been taking great advantage of that. Vetter still serving. Up to Anderson. The Knights will keep the ball alive after the block. Bannock up to Vetter. Vetter over to Roach. And that'll be off the hands of Jasmine Thomas. Point Deacons. Vetter still serving. Up to Anderson. Peterson can't quite connect on that one. Point Deacons. Olivia Vetter still serving for the Deacons. Gass up to Anderson. Anderson to Thomas. Thomas with the push. Vetter over to George. George will be blocked. And that'll be a Knights point. The Deacons tried to keep the ball alive after Thomas's block, but just couldn't quite do that. Watson into serve for the Knights. Free ball by the Deacons. Up to Anderson, over to Thomas. Thomas with the push, and she will get the point for the Knights. Watson still serving. Portal up to Vetter. Vetter over to Roach. Gass will return Roach's kill, but can't quite connect, and the ball will go out of bounds. Point Deacons. Ricky George back to serve for set point. Up to Anderson. And that'll be blocked at the net by Maggie Shorma. The Deacons will take set 3 at 25-22. The Deacons will win the match 3-0. Emily, what'd you see from the Knights in that last set that made it so much closer than the first two sets?
They really brought the energy that time. I think they came in with the thought that the Deacons were this great team, you know, the record that we have, and they thought that it was going to be a blowout. But then they realized that they were really in this game.
For sure. I think the first two sets, the Knights were kind of hesitant on what they could do, but in the third set, they really showed up and gave the Deacons a game.
Yeah, they realized they had nothing to lose.
Right. For Emily Hodel and our entire crew, I'm Kinley Kuhneman. The final score from Fargo, Shanley Deacons 3, Grand Forks Central Knights 0. To watch the archived version of this entire game and our other broadcasts, go to shanleytv.com. The proceeding has been a presentation of Shanley TV.